Good morning, everyone. So going to touch back on words again today, and I am fascinated with the words that we use, the English language, and now so particular and listen to every single word that comes out of someone's mouth. And quite quickly, I can tell if people are lying. I can tell if people are confident in the product they're selling to me. I can tell if they're in fear. I can tell if they're suffering. I can tell if they're happy. And I can tell if they're actually being serious about what they're saying based on the words that they use. And it's so powerful. But the words that we use also influence our life, our decisions, our happiness, our freedom. Because the words that we say actually restrict us. They're so negative if you listen to the words. But also, when we think we're saying certain stuff, what really happens is the opposite. We all would agree that we can't stand when people keep telling you what not to do, what you haven't done. Like, that gets annoying. But that's pretty much the world we live in. If you type in motivational quotes, most of the motivational quotes tell you what not to do, and I'll show a number of them. But that doesn't help. When people, it just shows you, if we're looking motivational and we focus on the past and the negatives and all the things you don't do, guess what? It still doesn't tell you what to do, how to be happy, how to make money. The motivation comes on what we need to do, not what we don't need to do. We don't focus our attention on that. Let me give you an example. Close your eyes quickly. Don't think of the tiger. Don't think of the tiger. What do you think of? So then if I tell a little one, don't forget this, don't forget this, they're going to forget. Every word will have an opposite. So every negative word, which there's loads of them that we keep using, there's a positive to it. So rather than forgetting, let's tell our kids, always remember this. Don't forget this. Get off the sofa, stay on the floor. Can you see the difference? It's telling people instructions which they'll respond better to. What tends to happen in companies, in families, in relationships, we always focus on the negative. And usually it's because we've experienced that before and we don't want to experience it again. But remember, it's a thought that comes with emotion. So I'm feeling it now and I keep thinking about it. So all the time, I'm going to be aware of when it comes because that's what I'm thinking about. So if we flip that and now focus on what you actually do want and start believing you can do that too. A lot of people don't believe that they are destined for happiness at all. They don't believe they can get it. And they live in a life which is full of fear, anxiety, depression, illnesses, because it's all around us at the moment. And I think all of that comes down to our environment, internally and externally. So we always focus, or we're told to focus on our nutrition and our exercise, but we also need to focus on here. This is the most important part. If you can get out of this negative way of being, and I'm going to challenge you now, listen to the words that you use today. Never, might, can't, try, maybe, possibly, hopefully. They're all negative words. And even worse, I hear people say, I can't do that, I wouldn't be able to do that, I'm not good at that. That's a limiting belief. Like, when you say them things, guess what? You can't do it. So pay attention to the words. Now focus on the negative ones that come out your mouth and catch yourself and flip it to a positive. And the more you start doing that, the more you'll find that your day will improve, the more energy you have, the more present you'll become because you're paying attention to every single conversation. But the better you will be with people. You'll be able to communicate with them better, you'll be able to understand them better, because now you're paying attention. And now you can start calling people out. When people say, I might do that, I want to do that, you might? Why can't you just do it now? I will. And you'll start seeing that people will start reacting and realizing how negative they are as well. Work on it and see if you can change and catch yourself during a conversation. And I always say that sometimes I'll be like, I always do this. And I know I've gone, poof, bit of positivity into that conversation. No one else knows, but you feel the energy change within that conversation when you keep turning up from a positive space. So I always say, work on yourself, pay attention, reflect, and then start improving. And you'll find it will really, really help.